Guys, today we're going to be replacing the water pump on a Volvo Vnl with a d13. It's a pretty simple job. I charge about $90 to do this. Alright, so for your tools, you're going to need a flathead, some cutting docks, then you'll need a 12 shallow and a deep well, your 3/8 ratchet, and then you'll need a 1/4 inch ratchet with a 10, and then you will need a 10mm ratcheting wrench, and after that you'll need your belt tool, and that's all that you'll need for the whole job. Alright, so you can pull off the coolant machine. If you don't have one, that's fine. You can drain the coolant into a drink pan, but you're gonna cut that on, then you're gonna cut your drain on, and then you're gonna crawl up under it and put it on the bottom of the fitting on the radiator. It's kind of hard doing this with a single hand, and then I'm trying to hold my phone to record, but hopefully I'll have a better way of recording soon. And after you get that popped on, make sure that you take the cap off, or it will not suck. Alright, first thing, you need to get this airline out of the way. You want to cut the zip tie to it, and then you want to take it out of that air fitting in the fan clutch and pull it out of the way. And then after that, you want to take your tensure tool and push up on the tensure and take your belt off. Now we're going to take the tensioner off. When you go up under it, you'll see there's 3 bolts. The top one you got to get with a ratcheting wrench, and the bottom right one too, and then you want to take the bottom left one off last, and you can get it off with a 1/4 inch ratchet and a 10. Alright, so as you take the last bolt out, you can take the tensioner out and pull it out through the bottom. On this pump, you're going to have 6 bolts. If they're factory, they're going to be 12mm. If they're like aftermarket, like this one, they're going to be 10mm. But you got 6 of them. So after you get all 6 bolts out, there's a little spot on it, and you can stick your pry bar in there, and you can pop it right off. Alright, so when you do this, I don't recommend putting gasket maker on it, because as you can see, when you do that, the gasket tries to push out. I've done a ton of these, and when you don't put gasket maker on there, that never happens. So take your pump and put it in a vise, but you don't want to tighten it too tight, or you'll mess the pulley up. Or if you have, like an impact, you won't have to put it inside of a vise. Alright, so here's the new pump from Volvo. That's your part number, if you can read it. I'll put it in the description. Yeah, it's a brand new pump. It comes with a brand new gasket and brand new bolts to mount it to the block. The gasket is easy to put on. You can see the notch in the top of the pump, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. You know how the gasket goes. All right, when you tighten this thing, you want to go from the bottom to the top, and then from side to side. Make sure that you clean the surface with a plastic razor blade before you put your new pump on. Make sure that your belt's pushed out of the way before you put the tensioner back on, because if you put the tensioner back on and the belt is on the other side, you will have to take the tensioner back off to pull the belt back forward. When you're putting your tensioner back on, it's got this groove on it, and it'll sit right up in the hole, so it's pretty easy to set up there and put your bolts in. Now the pulley, we're going to put it on before we put the belt on, and you want to put it on and just get the bolts finger tight. Make sure you got Loctite on them. Alright, so with the pulley on and the bolts finger tight, I like to put the belt into it just like this. That way when you tension it, you can just pop it right on that pulley and it'll slide right on. Alright, so after you get the belt on, you want a long 1/4 inch with a 10 on it, and you want to tighten all the front bolts. I've actually seen these come off from where people forget. And then after you tighten all them, make sure that you put that air line back in. Then we're going to fill the cooling system back up. And after it gets topped off, you just want to check it for leaks and stuff. Crank the truck, let it run. Check real good for leaks, and then after it runs and everything, you want to top your coolant back off, because it will, suck the coolant back down, and that's it.